What is the most common struggle for business today? Some of you probably already have that answer in your head. Just to refresh everyone as to we're on the same page, it's probably cash flow. Lack of cash flow or lack of cash management is usually the main reason there's issues in business today. Hi, I'm Renette Legace. I'm with Net Bookkeeping and I'm going to talk today about strategies to use for cash flow, and I'm going to do a series over the next month focusing on one specific area of that so that you as a business owner can be informed, will have resources and tools to use so that this does not happen in your business if you choose it. It's all about choice and how you choose to run your business. You could choose to run it any way you wish, and that's awesome. That's why you're doing this. This is why you've got into your own business. You are your own boss. You get to call the shots. You get to say when you're going to work and when you're not going to work. That is what business is about. And that's why we create our own jobs and start businesses, because we are filling needs. We are doing a service out there for everyone around us. That's great. But we want you to succeed. We don't want that statistic of businesses only lasting between 1 to 5 years. That is the average lifespan of a small business owner. What is it you want to have? Do you want to grow a business so you can go away and you know that business is going to continue making money for you as you are off on a vacation maybe, or dealing with family issues? Do you want that freedom? Then you really need to pay attention, because cash flow and cash management stuff is the crux of a business. Now, last night, a girlfriend of mine who's a fellow bookkeeper, fabulous lady, I love her. Anyway, we had a really good discussion about this. And it was very interesting to share our experiences and how common it was that people have issues with cash flow. So let's talk about let's focus on what happens when there's a cash flow issue that turns into a cash management issue. What are some of the signs that you are having this struggle? Maybe you don't recognize you're having a struggle. So let's talk about the signs and symptoms that are out there. The first one is that people cannot pay their taxes at the end of the year. All of a sudden, they get this huge tax bill between $10,000 to $30,000. And like, oh my God, how am I going to pay this? I didn't have money set aside for this. Well, that's a very common issue, because people see they have money, they want to use it for buying more supplies, getting more payroll, or having to use it for their own personal benefits as they're working. Another common issue is payroll taxes are not being paid. Some of these key issues are going to take your business down. Payroll taxes is considered trust money. It does not belong to you. When you pay your employee and you withhold income tax, CPP, EI, all those regulated deductions, you have to remit those. That is not yours to use the money until next month or next year. You do not remit those, the government's going to get nasty. The other thing is GST. Same thing with GST. GST is considered trust money. You do not own that money. When you collect GST on your purchase, or with your sales, I should say, on your sales, and you have that money in the account, great. Make sure you remit it. Minus any GST you've paid out, but that's another, we could spend a whole session on that and some. There's so much to that. Another issue would be they're unable to pay their accounts within 30 days. So you've got an account, say, at a building store, or you've got an account with your lawyer or your accountant, and you're not able to pay them every month. Those are all red flags. When you get those big bills and you're floored and you don't realize you're not able to make those payments every month like you are expected to do, you are having cash flow and cash management issues. What is a cash flow problem? So what is a cash flow problem? It's basically when a business spends more money than it earns. Yes, you can go out and make more money, but if you're spending it before you actually are able to pay all your debts, there becomes a growing problem. Basically, you're paying Rob and Peter to pay Paul, you're getting this person to pay early, but then you're still paying debts from back like several months ago. Whether or not you pay them early or not, or they pay you early, you still have to allocate those funds to specific purposes. So do any of you have any of those red flags? Why do these issues happen? Why is there a cash flow problem? Why is there a cash management problem? Well, let's talk about that. Now, I've worked with tons of small businesses because I tend to focus on small business because I want to see them succeed. So I set them up, I teach them what they need to do, and then I go in and reconcile everything, get it all together, file their taxes at year end. That's awesome. So they should be okay. Theoretically, absolutely. However, there's a lot of business owners that see all that money coming in, and instead of seeing that, well, 10,000's owed for this, 5,000's owed for that, 2,000's owed for this, they're looking at, say, $15,000 that came in that month. They're like, wow, I made great money that month. I'm awesome. All of a sudden, they start spending on extra equipment that was not planned and was not really, maybe needed, but, could they afford to do it then? Maybe, maybe not. Unfortunately, a lot of times, small businesses are reliant upon that income, not just for the business, but for their families as well. So that income is paying the mortgage, buying the food, paying for dance lessons, all those extra things. And then the business starts to suffer. Their bills aren't getting paid. And it's hard to find that happy balance as a small business, trying to work on your own and build from there. But that is probably one of the most common issues that happens. Other things that could be is there's no proper tracking of daily cash sales and cash expenses going out. How often do you see receipts just kind of all go thrown out? Oh, not a big deal. Just a little receipt here and there. Those little receipts, $3 here, $10 here, $5 there, add up to like $1,000 to $3,000 a month alone in those minimal, small amounts of receipts that go out. Those receipts, doesn't matter how big or small, are important to track and to keep. You don't realize how quickly that grows. So I've just talked about a number of issues that come up when there's no cash flow planning or cash management techniques in place. These are probably very common in most businesses today. And you rely heavily upon, say, a bookkeeper or maybe your spouse to help take care of this for you. And that's awesome. I think there's so many great bookkeepers and spouses that are so supportive to make things happen. But do you have a plan? Do you have a cash flow management plan? And what kind of techniques can you have in place to avoid the government from having to come in, seize your accounts, seize your personal accounts? What kind of plan do you have? Are you paying your taxes regularly? Or are you just doing it at the year end, which most small businesses as proprietors or partnerships do, which is great if you can do it. Or do you end up with a huge bill at year end? And how does that snowball into other extra expenses being required to maintain your business income and expenses? So at the end of this series, I will be providing cash management tips to all whom are interested in receiving this. But each week, I'm going to focus on another part of cash flow and cash management that can make a difference in whether or not your business can survive the tough times, the good times, and actually for the long haul, for as long as you want it to survive. So if you have comments, questions, specific scenarios that you'd like maybe some more information about, please drop them in the comments below or send me an email request and I will add you to the list to make sure you do not miss this series. This series is the crux of business. It keeps your business strong, healthy, and this is just about basic day-to-day activities and things you need to have in place to protect your business, your family, and your assets.